So let's talk about 3 mistakes I've made with the 2024 Tacoma so far. You know, when you're doing mods and things and stuff, and even just buying the truck, there's always things that you look back on and you think, you know, I might have made a mistake there. A couple of them are, petty, and I will say that all of them are not important enough that I would even consider swapping it out for another 2024 or even going back to the 3rd generation. And by the way, let me address that right away. I keep getting questions on the channel. Do you have any regrets? Do you wish you would have kept the other truck, the 3rd generation? It was a 2023 TRD off-road. It was the electric lime truck that you've probably seen on the channel. And the answer to that is no, I don't have any regrets. Is there anything that I miss from the 3rd gen Tacoma? And the answer there again is no. There's nothing that I miss that I sit in this truck and think, gee, I wish I had that. Nothing at all. So what mistakes am I talking about? Well, the first one is a maybe. Maybe I made this mistake, and that is buying the truck too soon. You see, pricing, I've been noticing comments and things, what people have been telling me on the channel and what I've been seeing on different forums and things, is that pricing is coming down. That dealerships, that Toyota is offering rebates or reductions in price in the form of cash back and things like that. That means that I left money on the table by buying the truck too soon. Does that mean you should wait? You know, it's kind of like gambling, right? Should you, shouldn't you? Well, you're gambling with the price and hoping that maybe Toyota's gonna lower the price some. I would say, my advice, I would wait maybe a month or two, maybe a quarter, to see if Toyota does reduce the price further, if they offer any rebates. I've also heard if you're gonna finance, that they're offering incentives as far as lower interest rates, as low as 2.9 to 4.9%. Makes a big difference when you're looking at 6 or 7%, right? So it's definitely a smart move to wait a little while if you can. Again, it's a gamble. Things could level out. Heck, the price could even go up. Who knows? Next up, this has to do with the lift on the truck. I had what I'm considering to be an OEM lift done. I had it done at the dealer. It's the lift that Toyota puts on. Now, it's not the lift itself. It's the tires, the wheels specifically. I love the tires. I'm running Falcon Wild Peaks. They're fantastic. I went with the TRD black wheels or rims, depending on what you call them. The problem I have with them is not the appearance or anything, it's the offset. They're not out far enough for me, the way that I like the truck to look. In the past, I've gone with a -10 offset. That puts the tire out, if you will, about 3 to 4 inches or so, something like that, depending on how far out you're measuring. I'm measuring to the absolute edge of the tire, but it puts it out from the wheel well. I like to have that tire poke. I like to have the tires sticking out. Now, let me say, with the setup that I do have, I have a little bit of wheel poke. A little bit if you're looking at the right angle. It's not enough. I want more. That is a little mistake that I made. Now, am I going to run right out and replace the wheels? No, I'm not going to do that right away. However, I will be doing it down the road to achieve the look that I want. Now, back to the tires. I went with I believe memory serves, they're a 285/65 R18. They're 18-inch wheels. They are Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws, and in my opinion, still, those are the best tires you can put on any truck because they give you a good balance between off-road capability and smoothness on the road, ride comfort. There's nothing worse than doing a lift or putting tires and wheels on that are going to ruin the ride quality of the truck. You never want to get in it and have it worse than what it was before. At least I don't, because for me, that's a downgrade. So that's the second mistake I made, not going with a wheel that gave me the look or the offset that I prefer in the Toyota Tacoma. Next up, the trim level, and more so than that, the drivetrain. My truck is a two-wheel drive. I bought a two-wheel drive, or let's call it rear-wheel drive, because I don't need a 4x4. I'm not a big-time off-roader. I think anybody that watches the channel knows that. Not that I'm opposed to it. There's just nowhere to go where I am. You may see a lot of open fields and things in the videos, but those are farmers' fields. Those are planted fields. You can't just veer right or veer left and go tearing through somebody's land unless you want a pretty, probably violent response, right? And a big bill when you destroy their crops. You can't do that. There are no parks or anything like that near me. The closest that I know of is probably, I think it's about four hours away, something like that. That's an 8-hour round trip. So I'm gonna drive 8 hours to go hit the dirt for a couple hours or whatever. And God forbid I did something stupid and actually damaged the truck. Now I'm 4 hours away from home, 8-hour round trip, and I've got a truck that I've got to get fixed, hopefully somewhere. Nothing that I would want to do, not to mention the cost of the truck. I mean, this is a $40-some thousand truck. Am I gonna go beat the hell out of it off-road? No, I'm not gonna do that. If I wanted to do that, I'd buy an old truck. But that's not the point here. The point is the two-wheel drive Tacoma comes with auto stop. The bane of vehicles altogether. I can't stand auto stop. I really, if I'm being honest, didn't realize when I bought the truck that auto stop was a feature offered only on the two-wheel drives. You don't get it if you buy a manual, which I wouldn't have bought on the Tacoma unless they've really improved it, and I've heard they haven't. Or you buy a 4x4. So there would have been some benefit to spending the extra money, but not enough for me. To spend an extra $3 or $4 or $5 grand, whatever the difference is between the two-wheel drive and the four-wheel drive, to not have auto stop does not provide enough value for me. Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, I forget to deactivate it every time I get in the truck. But let's be honest, reaching over and pushing that button, they did put it right there in the center console area, so it's pretty simple to get to. Just not enough value for me to have spent the extra money. And honestly, had I been more educated, it wouldn't have mattered to me. Even though I hate auto stop, I would not have bought a 4x4 just to avoid that. Anyway, those are just 3, I guess, mistakes that I've made. These are personal mistakes, nothing wrong, nothing to do with the truck. Leave a comment, let me know. Ever buy a Tacoma and then realize you made a mistake about something once you got it? I'd be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.